We convene. We're going to see one Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence. States of America, to the republic, one nation. We will now take a 30-second moment of silence, and please remember all of those who we have lost. You have been notified through the district with our We Care notifications. Thank you. Thank you. Moving to D, informational items. D1, financial report. And the financial report is in your board packet. Moving to E, public comment. We have, I'm sorry. Moving to C2, superintendent contract.
I move to authorize the board president to execute contract extension terms for the superintendent's contract as discussed in executive session.
Thank you, Mr. Lopeza. For that motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Discussion?
Thank you for all your hard work. I mean, I feel blessed that we went through a long process. It spent lots of time looking at many different candidates. And I feel confident that we made the right decision. You have fulfilled all of my expectations and more. I am very lucky to have been able to work with you this past year, and I look forward to this arrangement continuing for many years to come. So thank you for all your efforts.
I think I'll just say that you need to use some more of your PTO.
And what I would like to say is our superintendent is fabulous, very amazing. We're very blessed to have Superintendent Ceci Mayas here. We went through 42 candidates and we got to one, and we're very excited for this and hope that this partnership can go on for a very long time. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations. All right, moving to public comment. E1, we have one public comment today. Thank you, Mr. Bogert, for joining us. You will have 3 minutes at the podium. Yep. Your time to shine. And your speaking time won't start until you start speaking, okay? And I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds left.
All right. Just
Welcome.
3 simple questions that I have, not to be elaborated upon, but just a general idea. First one is the grade school district here. The curriculum is, besides what the state mandates, who decides what curriculum is followed? Does anybody can tell me that? Secondly, then, who chooses the instructional material, the written material, the books, so to speak, I would use? And thirdly, is there any other instructional material that is oral or written that is an option or an extension of the chosen printed material? So those are the 3 questions I have. I'd like to see if somebody can tell me what those are. And also the last part of that is what time and place would it be available to be able to read this curriculum? That's all I need to know.
Thank you. Dr. Mayas, would you or anyone on your team like to address Mr. Bogert?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. It's specifically to, well, can I clarify that it was the social studies curriculum or all curriculum? Okay. And so how we select curriculum is governed by policy, actually. And so I know we have our deputy superintendent here, Melissa Gonzalez, who leads that process. And so Ms. Gonzalez, would you mind speaking to that, please? Thank you.
Hi, good evening, and good evening, President Conchas, Governing Board, and Dr. Maez. So we do follow a policy and an adoption process for our curriculum that we use in the district. We follow it for the contents of English language arts, mathematics, science, history, and social studies. That process includes having a team of representatives throughout the district. We have teachers, we have coaches, we have a variety of individuals who come together, and we invite different companies for curriculum that we have been researching, investigating, that has high standards, that meets our expectations, that is aligned to our standards within our state. And we meet with these companies and we learn more about what they are offering us, the programs. We consider how they offer materials to differentiate, how they offer materials to enrich our students, what types of tools may lend itself to technology. Cost, of course, is part of the factor. Ultimately, what happens is the committee narrows down what we select from, and then we open it up for public view. So the public has an opportunity to comment on what we have brought to the table of the different companies we're looking at. Through that process, we narrow it down through a rubric type system. And ultimately that lends us to determine which curriculum we will select and purchase for a period of time. But we have a timeline that is about within the range of 6 years when we have to look at how is this curriculum doing for us? Did we select a strong curriculum that's supporting the learning of our students? Do we need to go back and revisit other companies and other models that exist now? So we review throughout the timeline of our curriculum to determine if it's still providing success or if we need to go back to the table and find a different curriculum. Our goal is to be relevant and to be current and to ensure that what we do purchase supports our students.
Thank you. And Mr. Bober, Dr. Mayas or Ms. Gonzalez will be able to follow up with you after the meeting, or if you'd like to provide your contact information or exchange. Make sure we want to get all of your questions answered. We value you being here. We value your public comment. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Chime in real quick. Just for clarification, that there is a public comment period. There was, right? Yeah. If you can. Yes.
Yep, the materials are all on display. They were in our board area, so in the Madrid room, I believe it was, and there were comment cards where people were able to sit down, look through, read through it, and then leave their comments for us.
Thank you very much. Moving to D, information items. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place today. Moving to F, consent agenda. F1, approval of consent agenda items. I call for a motion that the governing board approve consent agenda items F2 through F9.
I move that we approve the consent agenda items F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, and F9.
Thank you, Ms. De Ocampo. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Mr. Oropesa. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Moving to G, comments and communications, comments from governing board members.
Okay, I've said it before, but I have to say it one more time, maybe a few more times still. But today I'm going to say it again. I really want to thank our 6th board member, Dana. I have seen other boards and she keeps us so efficient, and our board meetings really are concentrated on what we need to do and what we're voting for. And she just is amazing. And I want to say again, thank you for being ours. We have a great superintendent, and not only that, but her sidekick. So I just want to thank you again, Dana, because I truly believe you are our sixth board member. Thank you.
Any other comment?
Yeah, I woke up yesterday and realized that we're almost to fall break. How amazing is that? It's gone so fast. I know in the rest of the world, they think it's fall and we're still in summer, but um, before you know it, it'll be parent conferences and those kids are going to be on their vacation. And just think of all the wonderful things that they've learned in the past few weeks they've been in school. The other thing, I would be remiss if we didn't comment on the math teacher at the Choice Learning Academy, who just won an outstanding large amount of money to help with her math instruction. And then thank you to everybody who's been so good at getting the school year off to a great start.
We would like to welcome to our Alhambra family, Apollo Zip Zhang. Apollo was born July 23rd, 2022, weighing 8 pounds, 3 ounces. Congratulations to the parents, Lynn Zip Sang, academic coach at AOA, and Philip Sang, assistant director of technology. There's a lot of babies, so I'm just gonna cover 2 of them. So we would like to also welcome Matthew Alexander Chavaria. Matthew was born July 22nd, weighing 5 pounds, 11 ounces, and 18.5 inches long. Congratulations to the parents, Leo Chavaria, who is our operations supervisor, and Norma Granillo, who's our maintenance supervisor. And with great sadness, we celebrate the life of Arnie Gonzalez, who is the brother of Esperanza Lopez, our assistant director of technology department at the district office. Some of the things that I would like to report on as a board member is that I attended the ASBA, Arizona School Board Association Law Conference, where I learned how to not get sued. So that's very important for us because we do not want that to happen in this district. There's a variety of different topics. I know that Alana Ragland was there, some other folks from the district. And it was a really good time to hear about the topics that are going on across the country, but also what are the local things that need to happen. I also attended the delegate assembly on Saturday, and I voted on behalf of Alhambra to approve the policy agenda for the 2023 state legislative session. And last but not least, I just want to share that when I picked up my sister today, she's an 8th grader at Gap. She was at GIA. She said, I kind of miss GIA. And I asked her, what do you miss about GIA? She's like, I really like that it was such a small school. And she's like, but I understand after we talked about why it had to close. But then she said, what I really like is I really love the teachers and I really love all the fun things that we do at Gap. So I just wanted to let you all know that it's a success story in my family is that my child feels that they're being taught by some quality teachers, which they are. And not only that, her cousin, my cousin, is also an 8th grader with her. So those are my 2 Alhambra kids, but I know that our kids are being taken care of by all of our teachers, our principals, our classified, certified staff. And I really appreciate everybody putting all their hard work into this year. And things have not been easy. There have definitely been some challenges, some scary moments, some emergencies that we've all had to deal with. But we've still stuck together, and we're going to continue being Alhambra strong. I also want to give a shout out to our comms relations team for all of the social media and Facebook and all the board bulletins, the Alhambra Post. And I know that there's babies on that announcement that I have not mentioned yet. So I appreciate it, and thank you. And moving to G2, governing board direction and/or agenda item requests.
Yeah, just wanted to with the Los Angeles School District where there was a data breach and some potentially student information kind of was potentially compromised. And just want to take a look at what our district has in place currently to prevent that sort of data breach. And if there's any ways that we can support our IT team on preventing something like that. Also wanted to follow up. I haven't heard from anyone, and probably a little bit on my end for not following up, but regarding resolution for not using contractors or subcontractors who utilize prison labor. So if you can get back to me on that.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio, for the focus on cybersecurity and data protection. And we will look into a resolution and work with you against prison labor. Any other comments or governing board direction? The only thing that I wanted to mention is of course, we're in a water crisis. And so while I was talking with other board members, especially a board member from Tempe Union High School District, they were really looking into how much water do they use every single day? What are some mechanisms where they could be more sustainable? So Superintendent Mayes, if we could think about how does our district fit in this drought? Because we know that it's just going to get worse, unfortunately. Thank you.
Thank you. That reminded me of something. I remember when I was out there in the summer and the sprinklers were going in the middle of the day at one of the school sites. So thank you for bringing that up. I think it's very important.
Any other comments from the board? Hearing none, going to G3, comments from superintendent and executive team.
Good evening, everyone. This evening, we'll begin our comments with Ms. Bilyeu.
Thank you. President Conchas, members of the board, and Dr. Mayes, I have 2 comments for you tonight. First, I wanted to bring awareness to one of our practices related to our 5-year strategic plan. Our board is likely aware, but we never want to assume, and I always want, I know that our board values overt and transparent communication with our stakeholders, so we wanted to say this out loud. So one of our strategies that we have implemented this year that is very different than past practices is rather than providing standalone presentation type 5YP updates, 5-year strategic plan updates, we provide ongoing updates related to our 5-year strategic plan by tagging our communication tools. So specifically the board member bulletin and the board agenda. So if you look closely at our board agenda items, you notice that the item now includes goals, a goals section, thanks to Dana. These are our 5-year strategic plan goals. And in my opinion, this practice of tagging our work provides twofold benefit as it communicates the collective progress of the district on a regular basis, but it also, at least for me, reaffirms on the regular that we are aligned in our efforts. So we wanted to share that verbally so that the public was also, our stakeholders were also aware of the updates that were ongoing in our work. And then my second update is from our parent volunteer coordinator team, and through the collaborative efforts of our superintendent's office team, our federal projects team, and the FRC team, and our parent volunteer coordinators, we are proud to report that all of our parent volunteer coordinators have received learning activity kits to engage the younger siblings that often accompany their parents as they volunteer in support of our schools. The team was super excited to put the tools to use. So on the same day that they got those tools, you can see a very happy face taped to your monitor of a future Alhambra scholar who was enjoying the new tools as his parent was serving in our schools. So in case you're wondering, I would have tagged this update to family and community engagement as it demonstrates our efforts to ensure that our families are empowered and can contribute in ways that are meaningful for them.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you, President Conchas, Governing Board, and Dr. Mayes. So we have some great celebrations from our schools to share tonight, some great highlights. At CLA, Choice Learning Academy, the academies are on fire. The entrepreneur group is working on product development and marketing strategies, and they're marketing themselves with CLA business shirts, so the community knows that they're serious about this. And to follow suit, Mr. Conchas, the GIA Academy continues to grow. So the 6th through 8th group of girls is now at 36, which is almost doubled from what it was last year. And they're learning so much. The academies are also joining forces together to design, market, and produce official shirts for ASU Robotics team. So the ASU Robotics team mentors the innovation students all year while the students build and design their own robots. So they're making them their official shirts. And then Miss Trish Morgan did get the Voya Financial Award. And the Voya Award honors classroom heroes and their innovation programs that take student learning to new heights. So this, with this award, she has brought in about $30,000 to Choice Learning Academy in the last 3 years. So she's really at Westwood, they're very excited. They had their first PTO meeting, and they had over 39 parents selected their new president and vice president who are very motivated. But they took the time to really talk about what building community meant, what it looked and sounded like as the PTO. And the counselors and social workers were there to share with them how they help students and how they help families. And then families were able to sign up for Salvation Army benefits while they were there. So they were excited with that event. And then our clubs continue to be exciting at Cordova. We have the Cordova Times journalists, and they have produced their first Cordova Times newsletter. They interviewed people, they have a fun corner, they have weird facts along with weather and even information of child nutrition. And, but they're very excited about getting started on the October newsletter. And then at James W. Rice, Mr. Nunez, a 6th grade teacher, is leading the iMovie Club. So the students in that club are taking the literature that they're learning about in Ms. Vierdin's reading language class. They're creating scripts, writing stories, performing in the movies. And from what I hear, the recent movie has a spooky theme. So they're getting ready for October. So you better bring the popcorn. And those are our updates.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. And as far as my updates, I just want to share, well, first I want to express my gratitude to our governing board for your confidence and trust in me as I continue to serve our wonderful community. I also want to express just the gratitude I have for all those that are serving our kids, and everyone is really working so hard. And I must share with you that the Arizona Department of Education recently released data in which so we know that our students took the assessment in the spring, and they've been looking at growth data to see, and they refer to it as a student growth percentile, where they compare our kids to kids all over the state. And they're looking specifically at growth. We already received our proficiency data, but it's looking specifically at growth. So even if they weren't quite proficient, how much did they grow? Was it low growth or average to the rest of the kids in the state, or high growth? And what I want to share with you is I know Raul over there was so excited, and I appreciated his enthusiasm because he knows how hard our staff have been working at the schools. And we have more kids in average growth and high growth than ever before. Or I want to say you look back 6 years for sure. So even pre-COVID and even 2 years pre-COVID, we had significantly more kids in the average to high growth. Even we had set a goal and we significantly surpassed the amount of kids. And so the specifics are coming. So Raul and his team are preparing a presentation to share with you. But it just goes to show that while we know that there is much work to be done, the fact is people are working hard. Our stakeholders, our staff are working really hard in our schools, and we really want to take this opportunity to celebrate them. And we were very we want Raul, again, I appreciate his enthusiasm to get that data in front of our principals as quickly as possible, because we want our teachers to know that that their hard work shows and they need to be celebrating. With that in mind, I just had a meeting with our Alhambra Education Association. And I appreciate the ongoing communication with them, as they did share some struggles that are occurring right now in our schools, and just how overwhelmed, the teaching profession can be, and some of our staff are overwhelmed. And I just want to acknowledge and validate that. And I know I came out of the meeting letting Ms. Bilio and Ms. Gonzalez know I want to come together and just be able to talk through some of what we're hearing so that we can support. And so with this opportunity, I just want to express again that our teachers, I know that they want to do their best for kids and they put unnecessary pressure sometimes on themselves, but I want all to know everyone's doing a great job. And again, I thank our leaders for making sure that our teachers, our assistants, from child nutrition, facilities, everybody, may we continue to acknowledge and celebrate the hard work being done on behalf of our children. So again, thank you all and hope everyone has a good night.
Thank you, Superintendent Mayes. And we're going to H2, calendar of H1, meeting closing. Next governing board meeting will be October 6th of 2022. H2, calendar of events. We'll have fall break October 10th through the 14th. We'll have Granada's Halloween community event on October 20th, and parent-teacher conferences are October 27th to the 28th. Going to H3, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Solorio. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Noel France. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.